Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's review, we get to take a look at the 2025 BMW M3 xDrive competition. This model is finished off in an exclusive individual color called Frozen Preciosa Metallic, and it has an MSRP just over $110,000. Now this competition is powered by the 3-liter twin-turbo inline-6. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic, and it pumps out 523 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the xDrive all-wheel drive system, propelling this nearly 4,000-pound sedan from 0 to 60 in BMW's claimed 3.4 seconds. I have seen as quick as 2.8 seconds, however. Top speed is 180 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons. You'll expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city, 24 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.5 inches. Its overall length is 189.1. It has a width of 74.3, a height of 56.6, and its ground clearance measures in at 4.8 inches. Now, as we take another look at this beautiful color, this is about a $3,600 option to go with one of these frozen colors. So it's basically a matte finish for the vehicle. I think it looks stunning for this M3. Now, as we work our way up front, you'll notice for the 25-year model, there's really no changes compared to the previous model, aside from the updated headlights. They have a nice dark housing to them. Everything is still LED, of course. This has a lot of gloss black accents. You'll notice the kidney grille with the M3 comp badge. There's also a forward-facing camera, plenty of cutouts, as well as parking sensors. And then there's also the mesh in the lower section, as well as gloss black for a part of that bumper. With the M models, you also get all of the hood lines that go off of the top of the grille there, just to integrate that a little bit nicer. Now, as we work our way to the side, this has a staggered setup for the wheels. There are 19 by 9.5 up front and 20 by 10.5 in the rear. This particular model also has the carbon ceramic brakes. You'll notice because they have the gold brake calipers, which will indicate that, and then a really nice design for the two-tone wheels. Now, this particular model also has the carbon fiber package, which is around a $14,000 option, which also provides it with those carbon ceramic brakes. They are a standalone option, but you can get that with this package too. There's the M3 comp badge just behind that, as well as the power folding side mirrors, which have a camera and a turn signal. All the competitions come with the carbon fiber roof. However, you can spec it with a sunroof if you would like. There's more gloss black around the window trim. It's also in the lower side skirt too. And this just has a really nice, classy side design. So a little bit more aggressive up front, really nice subtle lines that run down the side. And then in back, there's a small gloss black spoiler. There's the LED taillights, backup camera with all the parking sensors, more gloss black in the lower diffuser, and then there's also the quad tip dual exhaust. You do get remote start, so just triple tap on the lock button. We can bring this to life. And then if you triple tap on it again, you can shut it off as needed. You can also use the key fob or the button up underneath to open up the power trunk. And with this open, this is a practical family sedan. You have plenty of space. There's also a storage bin. There's no storage or spare underneath the floor, but you can fold down the back seats. So that will give you a lot more interior space and practicality depending on the items that you have. And then there's 2 buttons up top where you can close or lock the vehicle. Now, if you do lock the vehicle, this does get the proximity sensors on the rear door handles, so that way you can unlock it. And for this interior, this has the ivory white. There's a two-tone with the black leather as well as all the stitching. There's Harman Kardon for the audio, all the brushed accents, interior lighting, and the storage in the lower section. You also get the BMW colors on the seat belts there, and then a really nice two-tone design for the seats. Now, hopefully you can tell this has the carbon fiber bucket seats up front. They actually give you a little bit more space in the back. So at 5'10", I have plenty of room. There's also vents, all of your adjustments, some auxiliaries down below. And at my height, I have ½ inch or so of headroom, but I can sit upright and be comfortable. So it's not bad for the size of this 3 Series. And then right in the middle, you can fold down this middle seat if you would like to. You don't have an armrest or cup holders that fold out of that, however, but you do have pretty large openings in the door where you can fit some large drinks if needed. And then as we work our way to the front door panel, this has memory seating adjustments, lock and unlock. All of the brushed accents are actually an option as well. And then you have the trunk release, more storage. And then take a look at the front now for these bucket seats. With M3, all of these cutouts, they are still heated too, and they are power adjusting. They are not ventilated, however, which would be nice to see, but one of the coolest seats from the factory. Now, it's a little bit awkward to get over this part right here, but once you clear that and you're sunk in, it's a really nice place to be. Now, this model also has the Alcantara steering wheel with the flat bottom design to it, all the carbon fiber accents. There's massive carbon fiber paddle shifters. You get M1 and M2, all of your cruise control settings. There's also volume tuning, Bluetooth, and voice commands. But let's start this up now and take a listen to how this sounds. And coming back to the digital gauge cluster now, you'll see on the left side, currently there's miles per hour and the fuel level. Right side, there's the tach, engine temperature, and what gear you are in. You can use a control on the right side of the steering wheel to scroll through all of this content now. So that way you can pull up all this daily driving information and some vitals that you would like to look at. You can also go over to the head-up display. So you can look at some of these vitals, your compass, miles per hour, speed limit sign. You have your standard and directional view too. Now you can also change the gauge cluster by going into M mode. So M mode is located down below. When you push on that, you have road, sport, and track. Sport and track are going to be similar. So with it in this now, you have your driving modes on the far left, vitals on the right, miles per hour right in the middle, along with your gear, and then you get the RPM in a fuller view on the head-up display, and you can also see what gear you are in on the head-up display too. Now you'll notice over on the left side, if I push on M2, now I can activate everything into Sport Plus. So these are settings that you can configure, which is really nice. Now over on this left side, you get some storage space down below. There's all of your headlight adjustments with the air vent. Leather covers the entire dash. And then as we take a look at the infotainment system, this does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, so I have my phone hooked up to this at the moment. But if we go into BMW M, we can get back into the normal screen here. You can also get into all of these icons like your M drift analyzer, your lap timer, you have your interior lighting, messages, you have a lot of icons that you can scroll through. There's also your home screen, so you can go through all of these and you can configure these widgets as needed. So just depending on what you would like to see. There's also your climates. You can get into your navigation and music, and then you also have the heated steering wheel, heated seats, and then your temperature adjustments. Now underneath that, there's carbon fiber, which is an accent of course, and then you have the air vents with some interior lighting. You have power and volume tuning, all of your defrosters. There's also wireless charging. You have auxiliaries and cup holders, more carbon fiber. There's also all of these shortcuts to use for that screen. So if you don't want to use it as a touchscreen system, simply just use all of those controls down below. Now, if we put this into reverse, this does have the 360 camera system. So you get automatic parking as well as the backup assistance, and then you have the 360 view to go over all of these different angles. And then you do have a shortcut to the forward-facing camera, so just push on this and you can bring that up in full screen. Now you also have drive and sport mode. There's park on the back, the ability to adjust how quick and slow the transmission shifts, and then you have traction control along with parking sensors, engine start stop, and then you have M mode, which I showed, along with setup. And setup is how you can go into M1 and M2. So as you saw, I already had them preset where you can go through those different driving modes. There's auto hold and the e-brake. You get plenty of storage with an auxiliary in the armrest, as well as plenty of storage in the glove box. And then up top, you have garage door buttons with the rear view mirror and then dome lights as well. And then here's a look at visibility over both shoulders. You have quite a lot of glass, so it really hasn't been hard to see driving this the last couple of days. So as we get the M3 out on the road now, let's use launch control. So underneath the gas pedal, there's a small bump. So when you put the gas pedal to the floor, you can feel it and gauge that bump. I have everything in the Sport Plus settings. It's in automatic mode, so I'm not using the paddles with my foot on the brake. There's no countdown or anything, but you can definitely feel that it engages. So here we go. Oh, this is quick. This is a fast vehicle. That is so thrilling to get up to speed there and utilize that. Now, I've been driving this around for a couple days. We also just took this to the mountains the other day. So if you'd like to see us really rip on this a little bit more, check out that video. I do have kind of a small road here where we can do a little bit of performance driving, but take a look at that separate review video with my brother going through a mountain road. This is an amazing machine. I am thoroughly excited to be able to have this for the week and really showcase what the M3 is capable of, because we review a lot of these. They are dealer vehicles that are pretty much brand new. We have a few thousand miles on this model here, and so we can test it out a little bit more to really see its capabilities. This is, I think, the ultimate family style sedan, because you can drive this from point A to point B in the efficiency mode just like a normal sedan. It doesn't have to have the power. You can go and stop and go traffic. You can have the transmission set up for those situations, or you can do what we're doing today and just have a blast. So you have a practical vehicle that is also highly performance oriented, and you do get a few different options as well. You can go with the base M3, which is going to give you the manual option. You can go rear wheel drive, or you can go all-wheel drive like the competition we have. This is going to provide you with the highest horsepower and torque ratings. So it really just depends on what your preference is, what your budget is. You have a lot of different options. As you've been able to see with this model here, we have pretty much a fully loaded M3 comp. And as far as what it's been like to drive, if we put it into efficiency mode now, we'll put it into the normal shifting transmission setting. It's been really nice. It does get a little bit softer when you put it into comfort mode, so you have that for your suspension, steering, braking, and your transmission, and it just becomes a nice daily driver. So if you're looking for a luxury vehicle, but one that is also going to give you a lot of performance, it's a great option to go with. And these seats are one of the best factory bucket seats I have ever been in. We had a BMW M4 a few years ago that had these seats as well, and it is an option I would definitely spec and go with. You don't see them that often, and I believe that they would hold their value, being about $4,500 as a standalone option. This model has it included in the carbon fiber package, but it's a really comfortable seat. The only downside is getting in and out, but once you are in, it's a really comfortable place to be. So I would opt for them. It also gives you a little bit more legroom in the back too, making it that much more practical for your backseat passengers, as well as folding the seats down and then putting anything in the back that you would like. And from second gear, here we go. This is one heck of a sedan. It is so much fun to drive, and like I said, check out the full reaction video of us taking this to the mountains. I do have a quick twisty road here that we can at least do for today's video, but the handling in this is amazing. We have so much power. It's also pretty manageable too, but on a road like this, we almost have too much power. So you don't have to redline this, you don't have to get up in the higher RPM. You have a lot of power down low and just really all the power that you need. And there's such a big difference with these driving modes. It is unreal. This is becoming even more of a favorite of mine because we get to drive these a lot, but we never get to drive them like this. And so this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the BMW M3 competition. It is so engaging. Carbon ceramics do a great job too, so that way that cat can move there. But the brakes do such a great job, and it is so fun. It's such an amazing vehicle. It checks all the boxes as far as being luxury focused, being practical, being performance oriented, and even having the tuning potential if you are craving more power. And then my favorite thing about this car is we have launch control. So we need to make sure that the vehicle is in drive because we won't be using the paddle shifters. Everything is in Sport Plus, foot on the brake. Here we go. Oh my goodness. This is just so unreal how quick it is. It is so much fun. Oh, this is gonna be a fun, this has been a fun couple of days with this model. Now we do have a pretty highly spec'd model. So these start in the mid $70,000, $80,000 range. You can get into a base M3. It is going to have a lot less horsepower and torque. So there is a difference between the three different models basically, from around 409 or so horsepower up to the 523 in this. But with the other models too, you have the tuning potential to get those up to somewhere around here, possibly even more. So it just depends on what you want to spend, what model you want, auto or manual. It is such a blast. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2025 BMW M3 competition. I hope you all enjoyed today's full review. Again, check out the full mountain drive as well. We have a silent POV that you can take a look at too. And give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.